Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and we're gonna be talking about what's in my bag, what's my shoe rotation right now, what are my favorite hoop shoes to play in right now, right? So of course it does change periodically, but there are some shoes sometimes where I really love to play in it and it stays in my rotation. So of course this is just subjective, right? These are just the shoes that I really like to play in. And yeah, if you guys do want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave in the free link in the description box. It does vary, you know, from time to time, especially with the cushioning setup, but let me tell you guys something. The cushioning setup in some of these Chinese companies' shoes is absolutely amazing. So I feel like they just do it really well. You know, they just blend everything, like every category in cushion, like, you know, bounce, impact protection, step and comfort, you know, and overall comfort, compression and stuff like that. It's just, they do it so well, you know what I mean? And even for a good price, you know, because Nike, shoe companies that we know, when the shoe is more cheap, you know, they skimp out on cushion a little bit, or a lot actually. So but you know, some of these Chinese companies, they give us really good cushion for a really good price. So anyways, let's get it started right off with, of course, you guys already know. You guys already know the AE1. I also got this Stormtrooper colorway in. I bought it and I couldn't resist. You know, the AE1 is definitely one of my favorite hoop shoes. This is like of all time. Like, I love playing in the shoe. It'll go down as a GOAT performer for me, you know, in history. So yeah, this shoe is actually pretty dang cheap. It's on like the budget pricing, kind of, you know, going you know, into mid-tier pricing a little bit for 120 bucks. But yeah, some of the colorways that are coming out, the all blue colorway, super duper sick. You know, the kind of like orange, like peach color that Anthony Edwards wore the other day is absolutely amazing as well. The Stormtrooper colorway, the All-Star colorway, and also this colorway, you know. But yeah, you guys already know, guys. The only con about the shoe is the weight. I definitely wish they would make Adidas hoop shoes lighter. You know what I mean? Because this shoe is like 15.5 ounces, if I remember correctly. Super duper heavy. No, 15.3. 15, no, I mean 0.2 ounces. 0.2 ounces, you know, that's, you can't really tell the difference with 0.2 ounces. But anyways, yeah, 15.3 ounces, extremely heavy, but it's extremely responsive, because it's just, you know, for a guard, this is a really good guard shoe, right? Traction is top tier. GOAT performance for traction, as an amazing bite, bites through dust extremely well. I don't know how they did it with this pattern, because you guys see these kind of like grooves in the outsole, like that's not, these aren't touching the actual floor. You know what I mean? So you have less surface area, so you have less overall traction, you know, or friction with the floor. But even with that, you know, with these grooves, it still has really good bite, you know. And the cushion is amazing. You have one of the best court feels that you can get on, like, on the basketball shoe market right now. But also, step and comfort is great. And even though it's so dang thin for the Jet Boost, you know, the step and comfort is still nice, and the impact protection is still adequate. Like, my feet don't hurt playing on the shoe. Or the overall material, I mean, you know, it's, the only thing I like about the material is that it's very supportive and also not bulky. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like nothing's really protruding out that much. And I also really like the tongue, you know, with the elastic bands kind of holding it in place. Support is amazing. So yeah, a great looking shoe, and I absolutely love playing in the shoe. So there's the AE1 there. Moving on to the next shoe. Surprised the hell out of me. It is the, of course, Kyrie Irving shoe, the Kai 1, Anta Kai 1. This shoe is only 125 bucks, guys. And this cushioning setup is freaking amazing. It's better than the A1s, you know what I mean? Obviously, court feel isn't as good, but court feel's still pretty dang good in the Kai 1, right? But one thing that I love about this cushioning setup is the step and comfort and how plush it feels, right? So, I have the other shoe. I'll compare those after, but yeah, this shoe is so comfortable and like really like plush for the cushion, right? Like step and comfort, but also like really responsive still. I feel like they did a really good job blending like overall comfort and step and comfort. There's really nice compression here in the heel, but also making it responsive somehow. You know what I mean? It's not like mushy feeling or anything at all. You know, especially with like, look at this N2 foam. You know what I mean? So the cushioning setup's absolutely amazing. Also, the traction is really, really good. One thing that I noticed about the Kai 1 though is that it's really good through dust. You know what I mean? Even when I'm playing on a dusty court, somehow it's still biting really well through dust. You know, some of the other shoes I have to wipe a little bit and it's kind of struggling a little bit on dust, but the Kai 1 feels like, you know, it's been biting through dust really, really well. And the bite also is really good on a clean court, right? It's definitely not as hard as the A1. The A1 is just, you know, top, like really, really good top tier traction, top tier bite. Kai 1 is still really, really good. It's very, very solid, but not as like hard of a stop as the A1, right? The upper is really comfortable. It's premium, it feels like, and the fit also is really nice. One thing that I love about this shoe as well is the padding here in the back of the shoe. Lockdown's great. So the Kai 1, I've really loved playing in this shoe. Like it's really, really nice, right? And then another shoe that I've really been loving is the Zap1. So this is Dante DiVincenzo's shoe, right? So this is the Anta Zap1. So I guess I have two Anta shoes on here, you know what I mean? But yeah, the traction somehow, although it is very similar to the smear traction that's found in the Zoom GT Cut 2 and also like the Kyrie 8, this is just way better than those shoes, right? Though the traction in the like, you know, Kyrie 8 and the Zoom GT Cut 2 wasn't the best, you know, but the Zap1 bites really well, you know. And also another thing that I love about this shoe is the cushioning setup, and it's a really nice cushioning setup for guards as well. A court feel is overall really nice, and if you look at the strobe board, both the Kai 1 and also the Zap1 have a really large like open mesh, you know, for the strobe board, and you can feel the N2 foam here for the Zap1 as well. And it's not as plush feeling or easy to feel as the Kai 1 because I feel like the Kai 1's a little bit thicker maybe. I don't know what it is, because, you know, this feels a little bit more like responsive. It feels like it's probably a thinner setup for the N2 foam. So it's not as plush or comfortable, but it's still really, really nice, especially if you want a little bit more of a responsive ride comparing it to the Kai 1. Like, not saying the Kai 1 isn't responsive for the cushion, but the Zap1 is just a little bit stiffer, you know what I mean? But also we still have pretty nice compression here in the heel, although the Kai 1 is a little bit better. But yeah, out of all of these, the AE1 still has, you know, the best court feel, right? Also, the upper is really, really thin, you know? I feel like for durability, it won't be the best, you know, especially with this kind of like screen mesh, but, you know, it's a really thin, also very supportive material. I don't really have any issues with support or anything like that. Also, a very, very lightweight shoe, right? Let's check the weight of both. You know, the Kai 1 isn't super light, right? It's like 13.4 ounces. The Zap1 is definitely way lighter. Yeah, 12.0, basically 12 ounces, you know? So yeah, it's a very, very lightweight shoe for the Zap1. It's just a really nice guard shoe, I feel like, you know? And last but not least, a shoe that really, really surprised the hell out of me is the JB2. This is Jimmy Butler's signature or second signature shoe with leaning, right? And this is a very, very expensive shoe, but guys, this shoe feels really nice, you know? Well, the only thing I don't like about it is the fit, because I did go up half a size and it does run long. I wish I did go true to size, but obviously that's a me problem, you know? But the traction, this is the only traction, you know, that feels like Curry's, you know, with the flow outsole. And this is rubber, guys. So I don't know what they did, you know, they especially formulated it to have better grip, you know, and Leaning did R&D and stuff like that to improve the rubber compound for basketball for better grip and durability, and also make it lighter, you know, than traditional rubber, which is awesome. But yeah, this stops instantaneously, just like the flow outsoles, which is crazy, you know. So that, especially with this pattern, this just triangle pattern, it's just really, really nice for grip. And we have a full length carbon fiber plate, you know, so that also makes it feel very springy. Look at that. Look, it's just a very springy feeling shoe. And also the cushioning setup is, I would say the cushioning setup is like the nicest out of all of these because it adds bounce to it, right? So the Kai 1 and also the Zap1 with the N2 foam is just soft. And also with the Jet Boost, right? Really nice step and comfort for all of these shoes, but they're just more soft. But here in the JB2, you know, Leaning and also Wave Weight have Boom Cushion, and Boom Cushion is really bouncy. This actual step and comfort is really nice. Like if you look at the strobe board, it is a traditional strobe board. It's not an open mesh strobe board like, you know, what we've seen in the Wild 10 and stuff like that. but it reminds me a little bit of Zoom. That's how bouncy this setup is. You know, it has a nice bounce because it is full length boom, and it's a really nice cushioning setup, you know. And also another thing I really like it with the insole is this kind of like zigzag pattern in the forefoot. You know, that really helps like contain your foot a little bit, you know, and especially in the forefoot, and it adds a little bit to the stepping comfort. And then, you know, it feels overall really supportive, but also the material is thin, yet the quality is still pretty dang good. So the JB2 I really like playing the shoe. You know what I mean? The only thing, like I said, is the fit. It's a little bit long, but other than that, it's a really, really nice shoe. I enjoy playing it. So all these shoes, I'm still pretty much testing. Besides the AE1, I'm pretty much done testing all of these shoes, however, and I don't really have to bring any backup shoes. These shoes are all really, really amazing. And like, you know, when I go to the gym, I'm like, what shoe should I bring? I'm like, I kind of just want to keep playing in these shoes. You know what I mean? So yeah, Anta is killing it, Li Ning is killing it, and also Adidas with a lot of their hoop shoes, or mainly the AE1 and the Harden Volume 8 is killing it as well, you know. So yeah, these are the shoes that have been in my rotation. And yeah, they're just all really good guard shoes. I would say, you know, as far as like how it feels, the Kai 1 is more just plush, really, really soft. The AE1 is a little bit heavier, but the Zap1 and AE1 is pretty similar kind of feel. Very low to the ground setup, supportive, but it's just that, you know, the Zap1 is just way lighter, you know. And of course, like I said, JB2 is more on the bouncier side of things for the cushioning setup. So anyways, that's just what's been in my rotation. That's what's in my bag. And again, if you guys want to cop in these shoes, I try to leave the link in the description box. And also tell us what's in your rotation. What are some of your favorite shoes that you've been playing in for the past, like, I guess, couple months to maybe even a year. But that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.